and welcome in. I am MissKinghorn and we are back here in The Sims 4 with another speed build, and we're jumping straight in here to this build. Now, I've got to be honest, I've cut a lot out of this. So yeah, we're jumping straight on in. There's a lot of things that I've had to cut because this is just so long. It took me forever to try and get certain bits right, and it just meant the recordings were so long, and then even when I was editing it down it was just still too long, so bits and pieces have had to be cut out to try to make this not so long. And I think I got it down to around about like 50 minutes, which I thought was way too long for you. So I'm personally, I don't watch a video if it's over like sort of 30 minutes. I have a very little attention span, so for me anything longer than that and I'm just like, yeah, no. So yeah, I try to keep them a little bit shorter than that if I can. Let me know if you have like a preference or if you want to see longer builds. Yeah, let me know in here. But this build is on a 40 by 30 in Willow Creek, and it is actually in the Stage Estates, so it's in like the really sort of prestigious kind of exclusive area, but there's only like 2 lots right at the back, and yeah, it's a really nice sort of area for this kind of build to go in, because it is expensive. I think it's something like 270,000, which is quite a lot when you actually think about it, but it's The Sims and I don't play with money, so when I'm building I don't have a sim on the lot, I just build with unlimited money, and then when I come to playtest I use the free real estate so that they just have all the money in the world that they have left, and they don't really buy anything or don't do anything. We're not here for like the number of days it takes for bills to come up or anything, so now that's really done when it comes to playtesting, so that doesn't really matter. But I would imagine this would be an expensive house to live in, and it's an expensive build to buy as well. But anyway, we've jumped straight in, so we've done the hallway here, and now this is the little home office. So the family that I thought about when I was kind of building this, and I don't tend to upload the families to the gallery that I create for these builds. If you want them, let me know in the comments, and it might be something that I do in the future for this. But basically it was a dad who is an adult who has 2 teenage children, 1 male, 1 female, who are from like a previous marriage or previous relationship, but they live with him permanently. And then his new wife, who is a young adult on the spectrum of kind of like ages. I feel like she's probably a little bit on the younger side, and that's kind of when you see it in the screenshots what I created. I feel like she's somebody who maybe is with him a little bit more for the money rather than anything else, if I'm putting it nicely. Who doesn't really do a lot, but likes the lifestyle that comes with having a husband or partner who has lots of money coming in. And then they have 2 children as well, so 1 is a child and 1 is an infant, and you'll see their bedrooms upstairs as well. But we have gone for a kind of a monochrome kind of look in here, so you're going to see a lot of sort of blacks, whites, greys, with then like some pops of like this sort of dark red kind of colours coming through. And then I feel like in the kids' bedrooms we've kind of gone, right, you have free reign, decorate it however you like, throw as much colour on as you want, kind of make them your own, and I feel like the kids have really done that. And you'll sort of see their rooms upstairs. It was quite fun because after having done everything else I really just wanted some colour, and I feel like there's definitely colour in the bedrooms, especially when it comes to like the teenager bedrooms. They are so vastly different to anything else in this build. But anyway, I have been waffling. We are currently creating a little bit of a custom bar. It doesn't actually work as a bar, unfortunately, but it just gives you that really nice idea. So as I was saying about the family live here, maybe they have lots of sort of dinner parties or work events, of like meals for like people who they want to work with a business or something like that, and I feel like they need a place to kind of entertain them and stuff like that, which I thought this house could really work for that in here. So we have that large sort of dining table in there, and then there is also another one outside on the covered sort of back sort of porch area, kind of decking out the back, which I thought I did a real nice little touch into here. But this is the living space in here. We've kind of gone for this sort of half picture, half TV kind of combo, which I thought was a nice little one. I don't tend to use it, I've got to be honest, because it never really fits in with like my artwork, but I feel like this time it could go a little bit more in here, and then a couple of sofas and an armchair in here just to add to sort of a nice snug kind of feel in here, even though it's a little bit more expensive and kind of exclusively sort of done in here as well. And then my current thing that I'm loving at the moment is putting these pictures on the fireplaces. I feel like it's just something that you would normally do. I mean, I have in my fireplace, I have a big picture, very much kind of like that actually, but I think I just have one big one that kind of sits on the whole sort of fireplace in there, and it's just something you can do rather than hanging it all up everywhere. Now I did try to put in a little bit of a end table in here, it just didn't really work. This is quite a tight space. This actually, with the lot name up in the top corner, I came up with a floor plan on paper, and I was looking at it and I accidentally put the dining room in a hallway, which was like I think a 2x4, and it just really wouldn't work as a hallway, as a dining room. So I had to then rejiggle, because this was going to be the grandparents' bedroom with their ensuite, with kind of like their own little seating area and everything. And it was only when I came to actually build or place items in this dining room that I realised that it was just not going to work. So I had a last minute shuffle of the rooms, and the living room became the dining room, and then the grandparents' bedroom became the living room in here, which, I mean, it's not what I really wanted, because obviously I wanted to get a room for the grandparents in here, but I've had to do what I've had to do in here because there was not space. Now, I haven't showed you the kitchen. The kitchen's very boring. It was quite a weird one because obviously I had to cut things out, so obviously kitchens, bathrooms, I feel like I've seen them all before, where they're pretty much exactly the same in most of my builds. So yeah, they had to make, they didn't make the cut for this in here, but you'll obviously see some of those in the screenshots at the end, and obviously if you download this build from the gallery, then you can also check them out in there. But yes, trying to get as much space in as I can. So this is a nice little sort of upstairs seating area. I felt like a nice little chill out space up here if you wanted to come in, maybe read a book, kind of have a little bit of a sort of me time away from everybody else. If you wanted to sort of have the time, trying to find some artwork for this build was really difficult because it looks like it's an old building, and obviously it's designed to be, but also it's been modernized, it's been updated in places, and so trying to get artwork that kind of really works. We don't have anything that's kind of old, if I'm being honest. There's a couple of pieces, but nowhere near enough for kind of my level of oldness. And obviously this is a non-CC build, so I don't have that luxury of having the amazing CC that your creators create out there for this. Now this is the main bedroom, so this is, it was a tough one to actually get in, and I tried to sort of leave this wall free for a fireplace because there's a chimney here, but I don't actually realise it until at the end. There's not actually space to put a fireplace in, so you kind of have this chimney that doesn't really do anything, and also the same in one of the teens' bedrooms. There's no actual fireplace upstairs. I feel like maybe they've taken it out. It doesn't really do anything in there, but yes. Now we do have this mirror in here. It is facing away from the bed, so it's not quite so creepy or weird in here, but a nice little TV, again using the same one that we've used downstairs. I felt like a nice little private sort of space for them in here. Maybe they can sit there, watch TV in bed, or getting ready in the morning, something like that as well in here as well. So a few more bits and pieces and just some general sort of clutter coming in around the place. And yeah, then this room is going to be done, and we're going to be finally get some colour in here when we move into some of the kids' bedrooms in here. So we do also have a double wardrobe, but we also have that sort of like closet kind of one that I don't actually know how to describe it. It's kind of one of those that like they can sort of, the door slides and they can kind of change in there. I don't know, you know probably what I mean in here. But this is the teenage boys' bedroom in here. Now this was a fun one to do because as I say, we had some colour, so this is a dark blue. We also do obviously have the black and the white coming through, but for the most part loving the sort of colour scheme that we have got in here. So yes, I really wanted kind of like a panelling kind of look on the bottom here, which we couldn't really do. I mean, this wallpaper comes in like this colour, and it then also comes in one where it has like the white strip around the front, the top and the bottom, which again was okay, but it wasn't really what I wanted. I kind of wanted like the half wood, half sort of paint on here, which we don't have in this colour. So I kind of had to make my own panelling in here, but I think it kind of worked out okay. There might be a few little issues where like the shadowing and stuff doesn't really work, but it had to do what it had to do, unfortunately in here. But yeah, so this is the bed. We're using lots of sort of the luxury pack in here, kind of with the pillows, the lights. I feel like they all kind of really worked with the theme that we're going for in here, and they have the perfect colours. So that was really the main draw in here, was these colours. And then I wanted some like blue artwork, and these were kind of like the only ones that really worked. So again, complaining about artwork. Anyway, here, so yeah, lots of sort of dark blues and whites, and I feel like this really works in here for like a nice teenage boy in here. Trying to get out a really nice big fluffy rug here as well, and then nice, I love that sofa from the crystal pack. There's some really nice pieces in there. I don't necessarily feel like I'll use the like jewelry making all the time, but like this desk, the sofa, the kind of like the chair or desk chair that's on like wheels, that I think I'm going to use quite a bit. Obviously I didn't in here because I really wanted this sort of dark blue chair, but totally could sort of see a wheelie kind of chair in here as well. And then trying to find something to go behind the desk here. Now I did use this big curved monitor. I don't necessarily know whether they're like a gamer or anything like that, but or even like a live streamer, but I felt like a kind of a nice big curved sort of computer screen in here would work really, really well. And then again, more kind of space, chairs and things like that. I feel like there's a saying that if in doubt, shove in a chair. There's lots of chairs in this build. It is quite a big house. It is, I mean, having 5 bedrooms, but also the bedrooms being quite large as well, kind of actually really made it quite nice, because you can get lots of stuff in the rooms that make them actually really, really work in here. And now we are on to the teenage girl's bedroom. Now I'm hesitant to say teenage girl, although yes, when I did this I kind of had a teen in mind. I felt like she was kind of quite a young teen, maybe kind of like 13, 14, kind of that age, and it was very pink. It's very kind of bright and very girly. I feel like maybe they're not quite at the age where they can decide really what they want in here, but there is lots of sort of pinks and stuff. And I love these new streamers. They're from the Party Essentials kit. I've got to be fair, I've not really used too much of it in here, but I felt like these streamers worked really well for the back of this sort of bed set up in here, and then using the I think it's something to go like around the top of the walls from the high school, but if you rotate them round, they have kind of like that plain kind of grey kind of colour to them, which I thought works in here really well. Again, tying it into sort of the monochrome colours we have elsewhere, and then trying to work out what to do in this bedroom was really difficult. So I kind of went on, well, we need a couple of chairs, then we don't need chairs, then we ended up with a stool. Do we have a TV? No. And I didn't really want to put in like a computer in like every room, but I felt like we need lots of sort of bits and pieces in here to kind of make this really work. And it was quite a difficult one in here because, as I say, I didn't know about like the age or anything like that too much. So yeah, I felt like it was a difficult one to put in here, but I really like how this room turned out. Lots and lots of pink is all I can say. There is a lot of pink coming in here. But yes, and then we get out a couple more pieces of artwork. Now this one was actually quite simple in here. Now we are jumping on to the kids' bedroom. Now this is for a boy. I didn't really know kind of blue what I really wanted in here. There isn't really a distinctive theme. So I just kind of went with a kind of really nice sort of soft kind of blue kind of look in here. And then we do actually have a cat in the family. So I thought this nice little cat bedding in here really worked. And then a few little bits and pieces to kind of go along with it. Now the cat litter tray and things like that are down in the utility room, which is off the kitchen. So when they're like the litter tray, you've got the feeding bowls and stuff like that in with like the laundry. And I think there is actually 2 freezers in this build as well. There is one in the kitchen and then there's one in the utility room as well. So yeah, lots of options in there for you as well. There's also like a hoover and things like that, just to make that room feel a little bit more usable in there as well. Now this one was a bit of an odd shape and size. Yeah, I had to put in a bathroom for this bedroom and the nursery. They kind of share a room, so it was kind of a little bit of a weird pop out, which meant that I couldn't really place too much of what I wanted in here. But it's still a decent sized bedroom, just not to the same level as the teen rooms. I feel like they're too big, where I think this is about right, but obviously it all burned into one build. It makes the other rooms look way too big and this one quite small in here. Now this doesn't have a computer, but it does have a sort of notebook kind of journal in here, so there is an option if you wanted to put like a laptop or something in, you have the space for it in here. And then I end up going for the clown. I don't really know why, it doesn't really work, but it's so kind of out there and so random that I kind of think it actually works in here. And then this here is the little nursery. So I didn't know what kind of like what gender I was going for in here, so I just kind of went for a little bit of a neutral kind of one in here with sort of some soft yellows, and yeah, a little bit more of a more subtle kind of room, but completely again different colour to the monochrome. I could have gone for a monochrome actually, but I was on a roll with colours, so that's what we went for in here. And I've taken some inspiration from the web for this one to try and come up with a sort of a neutral nursery in here. But yeah, we have the changing table. We also have a rocking chair, which I thought was maybe like a feeding chair or something like that, which I thought would have been perfect little space for them. And then a couple of shelves coming in here to just put a few little bits of clutter and decoration on as well. And again, kind of doing the same sort of thing that I did downstairs with the pictures. Now I have a bit of a weird one. These pictures don't seem to have the same colour swatches as each other. I don't really know why or when it changed, or if it was maybe always like that, I don't tend to use them, but I feel like this one really needed something on there. So I thought like these sort of little pictures really worked in here. But yeah, I don't really know why they don't have the same colour swatches. It's a weird one. But anyway, as I was saying, getting lots of sort of baby equipment and baby stuff in here for them, and then sort of changing it all up. I do actually believe in the end, when I come to play testing this, I do have a girl infant, but obviously it doesn't really matter in here because this is a bit more of a neutral kind of room. And then getting out these big tree stencils, I love these. These are quite fun, and I kind of layer on another one behind it. Okay, so jumping straight out here into the back garden, and we're starting off with a swimming pool. I felt like this kind of build needed a nice little pool area, and so that's what we're working on right now. It doesn't look like it, so I kind of wanted a little bit more of a curvy kind of one. Now, this isn't perfect, and I don't claim to be a perfect circle maker. Here, it was a little bit of a tough one to try and work out the angles and stuff in here, because I knew I also wanted kind of some straight lines coming in, because it's a little bit easier to do. I do totally get these angles wrong. You'll see it in just a second. That's never gonna work. So coming back here and we redo again, but I think we get it right in the end. Into here, and a little bit of rejigging and a little bit of moving, but we get there eventually with this in here. And yeah, then we get the pool in, which is a nice little odd sort of shape in here. It's not a circle. I will get better, I promise, with all of these, but there's a nice little pool coming in, and then get some sparkles in, and the stairs coming in, and then a nice little sort of sun trap out the back here with some pool toys. Now, I used the big horse ball in here. It kind of feels more like a beach ball, and I feel like I often use the football or soccer ball and kind of size that up, but this one I kind of have to size down, which is a little bit of a fun one because it is so big, but it also comes in kind of the right coloured colours. So it's a really nice little detail in there as well, and especially with like kids and stuff, maybe they're like batting it backwards and forwards in the pool or something. A nice little detail, and then get some sun loungers out as well, and then going for the massive treehouse that I said earlier on. It is a nightmare to build this. It's something like 3 sim days to actually build the treehouse, and that to like level sort of 10 handiness, which after a while I realised I just needed to cheat in because it was just taking way too long into here. But we are very quickly coming up to the end of the video, which has got a little bit of planting to go into here, and then yeah, we are nearly at the end. So if you have enjoyed this video, then please give it a big thumbs up and comment down below, and you can also subscribe to my channel. You all mean so very, very much to me in here, and you can also follow me on all social medias, so the links to that are down in the description, and I will be back very, very soon for another Sims 4 speed build. But until then, stay happy and stay building. Bye everyone!